Hello there my fellow sim rig racers, and welcome to today's video. And I am diving into Assetto Corsa Competizione because I want to show you why I think this Lamborghini Huracan ST EVO2 is the best car in the new Challengers Pack DLC. So I'm going to take it out for a quick sprint race around a rather damp Barcelona circuit, and we're just going to have some fun and have a little chat about both the DLC and ACC. So come and join me at the back of the grid after the intro. Okay, sim racing fans, here we are at the back of a rather damp Barcelona circuit as we take part in a quick sprint race in what has become my favourite car from the new Challengers Pack DLC for Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now we've had quite the selection of new cars. We had the Porsche 992 Cup car, which I've already taken a look at and made a video of, comparing it to the iRacing version. There'll be a link to that at the end of this video. There was also a BMW M2 spec, along with a couple of new GT3 cars, an Audi and a Ferrari, both of which didn't really set the world on fire for me. But for some reason, this Lamborghini Huracan ST EVO2 just spoke to me. Just for some reason was the standout car in the pack, and it's the one that I drive the most. I think I quite enjoy single spec series, you know, these little small championships that run across many countries, such as this Lamborghini. That I had a quick look to see, and there's about 7 different championships across the world running these cars. I had a look to see what the European schedule was like, and of course this Barcelona circuit in Spain was on there. So I thought, well, I'm going to recreate my own round of the Lamborghini European series. And because ACC is one of the very few sims that does weather well, AMS2 being the other one, I thought, let's add a bit of rain into the mix, let's have a little bit of fun. I'm fed up of racing in the beautiful sun, and it does make a difference. You've got to be a lot more careful on those curbs. Now we're only racing in light rain, so we're not having to deal with aquaplaning. But there's definitely more understeer, and the traction control is cutting in a lot more aggressive and a lot earlier as we struggle to put the power down. So why these cars? Why this model? Well, first of all, just listen to this. Right. Now tell me that you wouldn't pick this car if you had the chance to race it. Oh, what a beautiful engine note from that big old Lamborghini engine there. those downshifts of bah, bah, bah. Oh, I love it. So that got me hooked. But it's just such a different looking car as well. Really angular, very aggressive looking, you know? Just a little bit on the ooh, like rear end going light under braking. Just a little bit mad looking, you know? And I just like that. You know, the designers have been brave. Ooh, 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 as I'm trying to be. Struggling there in the wet. Yeah, it was just, you know, when I initially tested it, it was just the sound when I first started it up. And as I say, the looks, and then, of course, get it out on track. And I found that it took very little setup work to get it to suit my driving style and for me to feel comfortable with it. Of course, if you've watched any more than one of my videos, you'll know my driving style is distinctly average and ham-fisted, and I think a lot of these single spec series, they make the cars a little more forgiving, because you know you're not always getting you got a lot of part-time or gentleman drivers in these series, so, and they want to make sure that the racing's good, it's close, and that everybody is able to make it to the end. But it also means that you as a driver have a little bit more influence over the race and the result. You know, you can't say that somebody else had a better car because he's got the same car. So it's how you set it up and how you work with it that determines your end result, and I like that. So it's also a good chance to look at ACC and how it's progressing on now in its latest iteration. You know, we now have FSR and DLSS, all those new graphics techniques to try and reduce the load on our cards. I don't have a new enough card for the Nvidia system, but I am trying out the FSR implementation from AMD just to try and allow me to bring in a little bit more eye candy and keep that frame rate smooth. And I've got to say, from my initial unscientific testing, I think it works. Whoop, I'm running more shadow now, and the mirrors have got a greater draw distance, and I haven't noticed an impact on my frame rate. And I'm only running an old 1080 Ti, so I'm not blessed with anything decent in the terms of GPU horsepower. But as you can see, we're running in the rain with a field of 22 cars. It looks good and it's running buttery smooth, so if you don't have an RTX card, so you can't run the Nvidia rendering system, then try out the AMD FSR. You might be pleasantly surprised. Even if you can't turn the detail up, it might help with the frame rate. What are we in? 13th, unlucky for some. Shall we start making some moves? Not breaking that early, I won't. But you cannot deny that this title is one of the best looking sims out there. You know, the only other one that can really hold a candle to this is it's got to be Automobilista 2. Automobilista 2 does have the edge over the fact that you can actually run it in VR. I think you need one of those IBM supercomputers the size of a room to run this title in VR. I got a Rift S, and the settings I have to use to play it in VR to get the frame rate, oh my god. It's like playing pole position on my Atari. So I've given up on that. But luckily, this title is good enough that it drags me back in, regardless of whether I can play it in VR or not. I do have a Samsung 34-inch ultra wide, so that does fill my peripheral vision because I sit really close. So I still find it very immersive, really enjoyable. Oh, and there we go. That's a 10-minute race in the new Lamborghini Huracan ST EVO2 around a wet Barcelona. Just gives you a chance to see how the car feels, sounds. Chance to see this title ACC in its latest build version. And I thought the AI were very well behaved. You know what I mean? They were doing a little bit of blocking here and there. They were putting up a stiff challenge. They weren't easy to pass. And they didn't do anything stupid. They were aware of you, you know. Racing the AI can never replicate going online and racing real opponents. You can never replicate that. But you know, these titles, every new build, every update, they just run that AI algorithm, update it, run it through again just to see if they can tweak it. And it's always a step forward. There's always that little bit of progression. Sometimes there's some big leaps, other times it's just minor revisions. But you know, I think ACC, iRacing and AMS2 and Race Room now have all got to a point where the AI is perfectly good to race against. They provide a stiff and exciting challenge. Some titles need a bit more work than others to get it set up, but once you know what you're doing with it, it gets easier and easier every time. And I don't mind. I don't mind putting a little bit of work in initially to work it out. What sim racing title wants what. Oh, right, as we roll into the pits, coming on the end screen. Oh, hello. There will be a video that will highlight the Porsche 992 Cup car that came in this series, in this DLC pack, as I compared it against the iRacing version. And there'll also be a video where I put AMS2 and ACC head to head to see which one has the best or most extreme wet weather. So both those videos, they'll be coming up on the end screen for you to enjoy. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have you tried out the new Challengers DLC pack for ACC? If you have, what was your favourite car and why? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, have a good one, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.